Good morning, Cambridge Intermediate School. Today is Monday. It's January 27th, 2020, and it's the last full week of January, or last week of January. Mr. Peterson's really excited. In our practice, I said, I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to go out on the limb. I think the really cold weather is behind us. I don't think we're going to have the 20 and 30 below. You know, we still could get plenty of snow. It still might be cold, but the really cold weather I'm predicting is not going to happen. So that's awesome for me. I am sitting here, also awesome. I'm sitting here with three of our kids with character. We're going to start with Sammy.
Hi, I'm Sammy, and I'm from Mrs. Jacobson's class, and my favorite part about school is tech.
Hi, my name's Marissa, and I'm in Mrs. Hanson's class, and my favorite part about school is card club.
My name is Ryan, and my favorite class is art.
Whose classroom are you in, did you say?
Adam's
class, and your favorite is art. And so I should have also prefaced it and said that we're about halfway through, or roughly halfway through our school year. So we just talked about what are all the things that we've done so far in our school year, and then if you had to pick a favorite one for the moment. So that's what they did there. And speaking of art, we wanted to also officially welcome Miss Hensley. She's back at CIS. She spent the first half of the year down in Isanti at Isanti Intermediate in School for All Seasons, and we traded off with Mr. Swanson in the tech or STEM department, so he headed down to Isanti, and we're welcoming Miss Hensley. We're very excited. I know I had some kids stop me in the hallway a couple weeks ago, just knowing that she was coming, and man, they were ready for art to take place. So it's pretty cool that Ryan mentioned art, so that's awesome. Speaking of awesome is our conferences. So February 4th, 6th, and 11th are our official days for conferences, and I was kind of cool. I asked all three of you, do you guys know about conferences? And you all said yes. And then I said, have you got your slips sent home? And you all said yes. And I said, did you bring your slips back? And you all said
yes.
So, and I asked, do you know the dates? And one said yes. Your date is February 6th. And so Sammy and Ryan aren't sure yet, but they know they have their conference date set. Conferences are extremely important, and so it's just the time for our moms and dads and families to come to school and hear the good things and maybe some things that need to improve a little bit. But it's a good time to connect because it's a three-legged stool for Mr. Peterson. If you don't have three legs at least on your stool's going to topple over. We need our families to be doing their part. We need our schools to be doing their part, and then we need our students to do their part. So a question I didn't ask you before we started was, do you usually come to your conferences, Sammy, or do you stay home?
I come to my conference.
You come. Good. How about you, Marissa?
I come.
You come? Ryan, do you come?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think we've kind of changed that over the last 15, 20 years where students are welcome, and it's kind of fun to have you be part of it because the conferences are about you, so you should be there for sure. So if kids can make it, I really encourage that to happen. So conference is important, coming up again in a couple weeks, and so those notes, make sure students that you've checked your backpacks, and teachers are sending the second and third reminders home, make sure moms and dads are seeing those so we can get that scheduled. So we also talked a little bit about asking if when a dog barks, what does that mean?
That means like there's something wrong.
Something wrong, or they're alerting you to something. Maybe it could be a squirrel in the yard, or it could be a car pulling up in the driveway, or who knows what. But and so I have a system on my computer that's called Bark. And so what that system does, and some of you maybe already know this because you've met with me, but it helps me know that possibly if a student is not using their technology and their Google login, school Google login correctly. And I try to help myself save time because I've brought many kids down here because Bark is alerting me that there's a potential problem on our devices and or our Gmail login from our school. And so sometimes it's nothing. I've brought kids down and it's just kind of a miscommunication on what's happened. Sometimes it is something. And so I want to make it clear again that your devices during the school day need to be used as your teachers are directing you to. So it's if you're searching something, you're doing a project, you're doing a Google Classroom assignment, you're doing IXL, whatever it is, that's what you're focused on doing. Because if you deviate that and you look up a YouTube account because you want to see something, music or something else, I'm going to probably know about it. It's like 99%. It's going to come up on my computer. I'm going to come down and find you, and it's not going to be always a good conversation. And when you go home and you log in maybe on a different device, could be on a phone, could be on your computer at home, but you use your school account and you do something, you put in a word that is not acceptable, or you search a YouTube account that's not appropriate, I'm going to get that as well. So it's not just at school, it's your at school device, but it's also your account that you have for school. So if you're going to check a video, a music video, you need to have your own personal account, or use your mom or dad's. Don't use your school account, because it's going to alert me by bark, and then I have to come pull you out of class and talk to you, and that's not a good use. Your time should be in the classroom. So again, students, I know your teachers have covered this, and but I want to emphasize it again, so it keeps everybody where they need to be. Does that make sense? All right, pretty clear, I think. So if you have questions, ask your teacher. They'll guide you. But again, just use your devices as you're supposed to. All right, real quickly here, while we're drawing our names, I want to let you know there's going to be, go ahead, Growlin. There's going to be a video attached. Our Pennies for Patients, which I forgot to talk about, but I think you guys already know if you looked at the posters. We've met our goal, so we're going to be talking about our bingo coming up, and then we'll find out which classroom actually brought in the most money. But our hero this week is Sienna Wilson, and there's going to be a video that was taken separately from this. It'll be attached to it. If you want to do the videos in 2 separate times, because it might get a little long, certainly feel free to do that. But Sienna is our hero this week, and you can hear her story and her mom and dad's story, because they joined us on the video that's attached. Congratulations. We have our 3 Granola Greatness. Mrs. Cowing being recognized by Mrs. Kurowski. And this goes back, must have been in there a little ways, but over the holiday season, so she was able to provide her team a little bit of some holiday ideas and activities to make the holiday extra special. So congratulations to Mrs. Cowing. Mrs. Poppin being recognized by Mr. Peterson. We had a teacher out with no coverage. I think I even filled in for that teacher that particular day for a little bit, but Mrs. Poppin was willing to step in and help out when she was able to, so I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Poppin. And then Mr. Kurowski being recognized by Miss Roybal, and she's saying, this one, yeah, so we had a really snowy day, and Mr. Kurowski was like, I think the good Samaritan in the back parking lot. He went above and beyond. He didn't just get in his car and drive away. He cleaned off snow off some other people's cars, and Miss Roybal was one of them. Isn't that nice to go out to your car and look at, and there's not any snow on there? You can just jump in, warm it up, and take off. So again, little things that make a big difference. So congratulations to Mr. Kurowski, Mrs. Poppin, and Mrs. Cowley. You are this week's Granola Greatness. With that, we'd like to wish everybody a great day and a wonderful week, and go Big Blue!